Hey Louise, how's it going? Yoni here, just having a look at your assignment from last week and your new video reference. Haven't had time to look through Kevin's review, and also haven't seen your shot in a while. So if anything that I'm saying already you've tested out, feel free to just ignore it completely. It's coming along really nice. Everything's kind of like just smooth, nicely. You've got some really nice movements all the way through. Your characters and the staging and everything. In terms of texturing and everything's working really, 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 really clear. It's got kind of like a very nice, creepy type of moods. In the shots that you've chosen, and then starting out with the guy. I think that some of the gestures that he's doing is good, but somewhere around frame 71 when he's talking about vampire, it just feels that the mouth's a little bit rubbery somehow. It just seems that what he's saying isn't having, any strength, kind of like, it feels like it's just moving maybe just a little bit too smoothly right now. It might need a little bit of snappiness. I'm not entirely sure where it is because it's like, it'll want to kill a vampire. I think that it's maybe that P. It's kind of there. Maybe the P could be maybe just for a frame longer. I'm not too sure, but it just feels that that little close there might not be strong enough. And then when having a look at the other guy when he's on the chair, the only thing that really jumps out at me is the gesture when he goes to slice, his neck like that. Just the actual tip of the fork is really moving in a real straight line, and it's really hard to do that. Even if you're doing this gesture like this, it tends to be a bit of a small arc going across the neck like that. I think the spacing idea is just right in the sense that you've got a bit of a snap over here and it kind of like eases in at the end there. But I think that it's just the tip. If you put a null object and you track it just on the tip here and you have a look, it almost looks to me, scrubbing through frame by frame, it looks really, 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 really straight, and I think you might just want to make that a very, very, very slight arc there as he does that. And I think that maybe you could do it maybe one or two frames later, so you've got the typical beheading, like that, beheading, and he does the gesture after he says beheading, maybe just as a test because it's kind of like so you can be focusing on the face first and then get the swipe afterwards. And then the other thing that to me seems a bit complex is that very elaborate gesture that he does to flip the fork round. He's kind of like, the way that he does it in your shot is looks at it and then kind of like does that, like that there. And I think that, going into the next gesture when he's going to do that bang, it just doesn't look strong enough because we don't have enough time to see it on screen. There's not really a lot of anticipation there, so it's not like, or you can go traditional, stake through the heart, bang, like that. It's just getting that flip earlier, and even simpler. He doesn't look, turn. He can turn it or go traditional, bang. So I think that the faster you can get from the fork facing upwards to just flipping it around like that, so it's in his hand, some way that feels natural as well. So try and do it, a couple of times, so you can do it almost like in a flash, like that. Traditional. And even my fingers are getting mixed up a bit. But I think if you can go into this gesture sooner, even if he's contemplating here, but have the fist already with it facing in the right direction, it's going to read much stronger because currently there's a lot of motion with him playing around with the hand, and it just seems like that can be maybe a little bit simpler. I love it as it comes with his face forward into screen. It's really nice and frightful. Yeah, and the guy falling off the chair for me is just great. I really can't see anything at all that jumps out at me. It's all there. It's some really, 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 really strong work. And in your public review, I love the idea of the bridesmaid, and also how they're actually going to wrestle for the bouquet, which is quite cool. The only thing that I'd say is that maybe from a comedy standpoint, have a guess at, you know, what's going to happen. Because the one thing that's not clear for me is one of them, you know, puts their bags on the floor, the other one takes the shoes off. But I don't know if she's going to grab the bouquet and push into the other girl, or if she's going to rugby tackle that girl to the ground and grab the bouquet at the end, and they both fall to the ground. So that's just one of the things that, you know, I think you can have a play around with that. Currently, as you've got it in the reference, you know, she just kind of like seems to push the other girl out of the way and catch it. Maybe it might be more comedic, you know, if we can see actually that the bouquet is going to land in the other character, and she just boom grabs her and tosses her to the ground way before she even gets. And it also kind of like plays with that idea of, I think you're staging the characters to have two different heights, so that one's taller and the other's shorter. So it's almost the other bridesmaid can come in, you know, under her center of gravity, you know, and just push from there, and you know, you can get this very nice kind of like toppling to the ground effect, and then, you know, they can either scavenge for the bouquet on the ground, or, you know, she can make a very nice clean jump up and catch. But, you know, that's food for thought. You know, I think the idea is, you know, strong enough, you know, and you've got a nice set of contrast between characters, so I think it'll work out great. You know, it's fantastic work. So hope that helps, and be talking to you soon. Take care. Bye bye.